In the Philippines, SMEs are no small matter. With the challenges of the recent years, we want to help SMEs bounce back, grow, and succeed. The Philippine Star, together with its partners, gives you Nakakalocal. Love local, grow global. Nakakalocal is an advocacy program that will shine the spotlight on SMEs. By showcasing their products, we will encourage more Filipinos to buy local. By featuring our artisans' craftsmanship, we will spread the word on Pinoy skill and creativity. By mounting specialized events, we will empower and motivate entrepreneurs with the right tools and insights to make their business grow.
Nakakalocal is the latest initiative by the Philippine Star with the purpose of contributing to nation building. We believe SMEs are vital drivers of economic growth in the Philippines, and so we plan to support them by offering ourselves as a platform for their creative products and their inspiring stories. We are excited to promote SMEs that are developing products and services that can stand the test of time. We want to connect with businesses eager to put the Philippines on the global map with their own creativity. We want to work with companies who can best represent our culture, history, or identity in what they make and promote. More importantly, they have to be ethical and socially responsible entrepreneurs who support sustainable practices in their operations. Nakakalocal is for every SME that wants a door of possibilities open for their growth and expansion. May Nakakalocal be the first of many future endeavors that inspire more Filipinos to support local brands and for the Philippine Star to showcase the ingenuity of our nation's world-class talent.
Our goals are simple: get more Filipinos to buy local and get more SMEs to go global. Nakakalocal can be the partner you need to grow your SME. Know more about us.
Hello, everyone. Welcome and thank you for taking the time to join us here at the Nakakalocal Edu Serie. KaTOOLong, Nakakalocal aims to provide SMEs with new skills, business and marketing trends, and techniques that will help them navigate the industry. As Nakakalocal's mission is to empower local SMEs, through today's KaTOOLong workshop, you will be empowered with concrete learnings to help your business adapt in a world where technology and digitalization are rampant. To officially start, allow me to introduce myself. I am Carlo Calimon, the founder and president of Startup Village, and also your facilitator for today's session. Our goal today is to learn how to establish your digital marketing strategy while remaining cost efficient. As business owners, we need to keep up to date on trends while still keeping our initiatives within budget. So without further ado, right, let's begin. Right? I hope everybody's ready for this afternoon session, and I hope everybody is excited as I am, so that we can all learn at the same time. So let me just share my screen and begin with today's session. All right. So how is everybody doing? I hope everybody's doing well. I normally run my sessions as interactive as possible, So please feel free to post your questions, comments, and on occasion, I might be asking you questions. So I would like for you guys to participate by following certain instructions, whether it's by just, putting a thumbs up on your screen, or placing some answers on the chat box. So let me begin. First, let me just share with you a quick background. So I've been helping entrepreneurs for the past 17 years, whether as an educator. I used to teach at the Venture into Entrepreneurship program of AIM, Assumption College, De La Salle University, and also at the Ateneo Graduate School of Business. I am also a regular speaker for DTI, DOST, and even DICT. And I am always helping other organizations for as long as these organizations are driven by their desire to help entrepreneurs. I am also a mentor for Google and AWS, while also being an ASEAN mentor under the AMEN program as well. Over the course of the 17 years as I was teaching, I also walked the talk. So I've started several businesses along the way, and I've been fortunate enough to have gained some recognition in the startup scene. In addition to that, I'm recognized as one of the 100 most influential global marketers of the world, and also I'm part of the 100 global marketers listing as well. So right now, my latest venture is Startup Village. Startup Village is an incubator and accelerator. If you watch the teleserye Startup, we are actually the sandbox that you will find in that show. What we do is we take the next generation of entrepreneurs, we help level you up by connecting you with the needed resources, whether it's education, mentorship, access to markets, or even investment. Our objective is to help entrepreneurs to grow their respective business so that you can become sustainable and you can create great value towards your respective communities. So for this afternoon, we'll be talking about digital marketing on a shoestring budget, tips and tricks. All right. So let's begin. What does a 21st century family look like? Don't they look something like this? Ganyan ba kayo sa inyong mga bahay? Right? Na ang mga mata ay nakatutok sa inyong mga gadget at hindi na mapakali at hindi maistorbo. Remember the times when you were young, how would your parents call you kapag dinner time na or lunch time na? Di ba sinisigaw lang nila, kakain na! Right? But now, how do your parents call you, or how do you as parents call your kids? Message na lang. Right? Ganyan ba kayo sa inyong mga bahay? All right. So thanks for participating. Please, my request is for you to participate during the session. So what about the 21st century worker? Anong mukha na makabagong nagtatrabaho sa panahon ngayon? Don't they look something like this? Ganyan ba kayo? Na pati kayo ay mga mata ninyo ay nakatutok sa multiple screens. Right? Meron ng laptop, may tablet pa, may desktop pa, tapos dalawa pang cellphone ang tinitingnan. Ganyan ba kayo? At habang naglalakad kayo, ganyan ba rin kayo? Nakatutok ang mga mata sa inyong mga telepono. Umamin kayo, raise of hands. Sino sa inyo ang natisod, nauntog, nadapa? Dahil hindi kayo nakatingin sa dinadaanan ninyo. Ako, umaamin ako, nabiktima na ako dyan. Solid sa noo. Right? Because I wasn't paying attention. Alright? Masyadong engrossed sa screen. Ito, how about the 21st century worker? What does a 21st century worker look like? Customer, sorry. Don't customers look something like this as well? Our eyes are all on our gadgets, but what are they doing? They're searching, they're looking at things, they're browsing, they're looking at reviews, but essentially they're making purchases online. Especially with the past 2-3 years, wherein we've encountered this global pandemic, a lot of our behaviors have changed. Such that even the older generations na hindi natin lubos akalain na mag-online shopping, biglang hindi na maawat. I recall some stories about more senior friends and even family members na dati, hindi ako magsha-shopping online. Gusto ko makita yung mga amigo ko at amiga ko dun sa tindahan, makichismisan pa ako, right? Dun ako mamimili. Pero ngayon, ano nangyari? Hindi na maawat sa pag-online shopping. Di ba? So it became a lifestyle, it became a habit for them. So what has happened? In the 21st century, the family, the worker, and the customer, we are all digital, right? And since we are digital, because this is a digital world we live in today, right? We have to accept the fact that digital has changed us. Digital has changed the way we work. Digital has changed the way we live, correct? Digital has changed the way we ourselves consume content, learn about content, right? And make our respective purchasing decisions, right? Why? Because digital has actually allowed us to become more mobile. In fact, hindi na to bago, correct? With the advent of the internet and our cell phones, right? We have become more mobile. We can move around and be connected anytime, anywhere. For as long as we have Wi-Fi or data within the palm of our hands. At the same time, we are all networked, right? We are connected, right, to this huge network called the internet, anytime and everywhere, anywhere we go. In fact, what is the first thing you do when you go to an establishment? When you go inside a restaurant, right, or a building, anong una niyong tinatanong? Ano po yung Wi-Fi password? Why? Because you have to be connected all the time, right? And at the same time, because of our connectedness, because we are networked, we are also more connected with each other. In fact, question, sino sa inyo ang may Friendster dati? Raise your hands. Sinong may Friendster dati? Or put it in the chat box. Sinong gumagamit ng Friendster dati? Sige nga, tingnan nga natin. Magkaaminan na ng edad. Right? Kung gumagamit na kayo ng Friendster dati, alam ko kung ilang taon na kayo. Alright? Now, why did you go on Friendster? What was the reason why you went to Friendster in the first place? Di ba simple lang? Bukod sa uso, right? You wanted to find people that you were connected with, right? You wanted to find, yung classmate ko nung grade school, yung ex ko nandyan, o yung long lost teacher ko o relative ko nandyan, right? You wanted to reconnect with people. You wanted to connect with each other, right? Pero medyo nabitin tayo sa Friendster, right? We just didn't want to be connected. Hindi lang siya directory ang hinahanap natin. We ended up looking for something better, right? Why? Because being social beings, we wanted to be able to not just find people and reconnect and connect with new people, but we wanted to be able to interact. Why? Because we are social beings. We need to be able to talk to other people. We need to be able to listen to other people, right? And there is an exchange that happens socially, which is why we have adapted to this whole world where social media is very prevalent around us. Why? Because we are actually social beings. But also at the same time, because of digital, na-enhance yung ating pagiging natural navigators, right? In fact, if you take a look at and remember your last trip, who organized your last trip? Di ba kayo na mismo, pindot na pindot. But also at the same time, when you're looking for information, right, what do? You search it yourself, right? You search it yourself. So tayo na mismo, we are empowered to navigate through all of this information and we've become very, very good at it. In fact, it's become very natural for us and the next generation as well. But also at the same time, we have become spoiled because of digital. In what sense? We want instant access to everything. We want to be able to access information. We want to be able to access gadgets, news, and so on, instantly, immediately, right? And we've become so used to it, right, that it's become part of our lives. But also because we want access instantly, we want things now. In fact, ang naging challenge natin, umikli yung ating pasensya, right? Dati kasi, di ba, when you're lining up in a restaurant, right, you're waiting, kunwari may 5 or 6 people in front of you, tanggap mo pa you're still waiting casually, correct? But now, May nakapila lang sa'yo na dalawa na nauna sa'yo. Right? Ano nangyari? Naku, ilita ka na. Why? Because we become spoiled. We want things instantly. Ora mismo, gusto ko ngayon na. Now, for negosyantes and entrepreneurs such as yourselves, it's a good thing and a bad thing. Why? It's a good thing because it challenges you to deliver better and faster to your customers. So, nagla-level up ka in terms of your delivery time and the experience. Right? Pero, ano yung downside naman? Di ba? Na ang ikli na ng pasensya ng mga customer natin. Right? But we need to adapt, as we say. All right? But also because of digital, right? Mas makilatis tayo sa mga produktong binibili natin. Why? Because tama naman, we always look for something of value. Gusto natin, di ba, value for money all the time. Pero the downside is, I remember, for example, when I was growing up, kasama ko yung mom ko na mag-grocery. And I would notice my mom, meron siyang yung mga usual na kasama ng grocery list. Di ba? Yun nandun sa grocery rack. Right? Kukunin niya yung favorite brands ng tomato sauce, ng milk, and so on. But every once in a while, may makikita kang bagong produkto dun sa shelf. Di ba? And then, anong gagawin ng nanay ko? Kukuha siya, parang titingnan niya, ganyan, oh, this looks interesting. Magkano ba ito? Masubukan niya. Pag-uwi sa bahay, subukan yung produkto. Di ba? Minsan, hit or miss siya. Bakit? Kasi baka mamaya, hindi naman pala bagay sa panlasa mo. Right? So, tinikman mo, ay pwede mangyari dyan, wow, sobrang sarap. Right? Bibili ako ulit. Pero minsan, yung pagtikim mo, parang hindi bagay sa akin. Pero okay lang, at least nasubukan ko. Pero ngayon, sa panahon ngayon, nangyayari ba yan? Diba nangyayari ngayon, bibili ka ng bagong, matikman mo, great, maganda experience. Ano nangyari? Post. Right? Wow, sobrang sarap nito. Pero kapag hindi naangkop sa panlasa mo, ano nangyayari? Nako, binabash mo na. Right? So may upside at saka may downside. Because we lack the patience to try something new. Right? But also, because of that, remember, we all want a great experience all the time. Right? Which is great. Because as I mentioned, we look for value for money. All right? But at the same time, remember, we are always on. I have a question. Sino sa inyo ang kusa pang nagpapatay ng inyong mga cellphone? Yung kusa, hindi counted yung namamatayan ng telepono dahil naubusan ng baterya. Sino sa inyo ang nagpapatay pa ng cellphone? Di ba? Iilan na lang talaga sa atin ang nagpapatay ng cellphone. In fact, bago pa mamatayan, 20% left, 19% left. Right, dun sa battery, ano nangyari? Nagwawala na tayo kasi naghahanap na tayo ng charger. Hindi po pwedeng mawalan ng baterya. Right? So, sino sa inyo nagpapatay pa? Tapos ito, gusto ko malaman. Sino sa inyo, kalagitnaan ng gabi, natutulog na, sarap-sarap na natulog, nagigising, para silipin ang cellphone? Right? Bakit? Kasi baka may nag-text, baka may nag-post, baka may nag-chat or may nag-tag. Right? Bakit? Kasi fear of missing out. FOMO. Right? Sino sa inyo ang nabagsakan na ng cellphone sa mukha? Dahil sa sobrang antok, nabitawan. Ha? Umamin. Ha? Di ba? Sakit ka kayo, mabagsakan ka ng telepono sa ilong. Di ba? Solid. Right? This is all happening. Naku, hindi naman kapag ka-iPad yung nabagsak sa mukha mo. Right? Hindi lang ilong mo, mukha pa. Right? Flat na yung mukha mo pagkatapos. Alright? But this is all happening because the world is changing around us. And this shift is happening. Right? This shift is happening already. Now, why is that happening? Because technology is constantly evolving around us. Things are getting bigger, better, faster than it was before. Right? Just imagine, sino sa inyo ang nakakaalala nito? Right? Yung mga tatak na Colliers at saka Britannica. Right? Nako, alam ko na yung mga edad, sila Tin, right? Sila Smarty, sila Sarah. Meron kayo, nako. Ang sabi nga nila, Kapag may encyclopedia ka sa bahay, ano ibig sabihin nun? Right? Social kayo. Why? Because your parents were willing to invest in your education, in your knowledge. Otherwise, saan kayo makakita niyan? Right? Sa library. Now, what are encyclopedias para dun sa mga mas nakakabata nating participants? Diba? These are the thick books, right? That store knowledge. So tayo na mga nagre-research dati, right? Nung bata ako, pinamin ko, nag-access ako niyan sa library dati. Wala akong ganyan sa bahay, right? Pero sa library meron. Ginagamit natin yan pang research, right? Baka sila, yung iba dyan, ginagamit nila pa yan pang study dates. Pero remember, the encyclopedias before, they were an investment. Ano ibig sabihin nun? That our parents, your parents, would spend and purchase encyclopedias on installment, right? Hulugan. Right? Hulugan. Bakit? Kasi mahal siya. Para siyang appliance. Pero that was happening in the 80s and the 90s. Right? But all of a sudden, in the late 1990s, anong lumitaw? Ito yung lumitaw. Sino yung nakakaalala sa Encarta? Yung Encarta is isang CD, right? Na laman, lahat ng laman ng encyclopedia in digital format. Yung dating libo-libo na hulugan, all of a sudden, right? Mga 1,000, 2,000 na lang. Affordable na siya. Hindi na kailangan hulugan. Correct? Right? In fact, kapag pumunta ka ng alam mo na kung saan, mas mura pa. Right? But tinan nyo to, that happened late 1990s. But what happened in the early 2000s? Biglang lumitaw yan. Si Google at saka si Wikipedia na lahat ng information na nasa encyclopedia, na nasa Encarta, nandito na sa internet. Right? Nandiyan na sa internet that you can access for free. Imagine that. Something before that was so expensive suddenly became affordable, then suddenly became free. All made possible because of how fast technology is being made available. Right? Now, when you look for information, where do you go? Don't you go to Google, Wikipedia, or even just to YouTube just to watch videos on how-tos? Right? Because technology is allowing us to be able to consume better products in a more effective and efficient manner. And technology is always evolving around us. In the same fashion, because of this, that everything's happening so fast around us, as we stay in the startup world, we need to pivot or perish. Dun sa mga nagnenegosyo dyan, dati, right? Dati may success tayong na-encounter. Kaya tayo nagnenegosyo, di ba? Successful tayo. But we need to change the way we do things and adapt to what's happening around us. Kung hindi tayo mag-adapt, mapag-iiwanan tayo. Right? Mapag-iiwanan tayo. What do I mean? I go to Silicon Valley twice a year, right? As part of one of our programs called Engage. It's a Silicon Valley immersion trip. And one of the places we go to is the Google headquarters in Mountain View, right, within Silicon Valley. Every year yan, twice a year. In fact, I'm going back in April. It's open to the public, right? Anybody can come, right? But what do you find, or what do we normally see at the middle of the Google office? We find this, yung mga buto ng T-Rex o Tyrannosaurus Rex. Nalala niyo yun sa Jurassic Park? Yung malaking dinosaur na nakakatakot. Right? Nakakainin lahat ng bagay sa paligid niya. Sobrang fearsome, sobrang powerful, sobrang big. Right? Now, bakit may totoong buto? Take note, itong butong ito, hindi peke yan, no? So, nandyan yan. Totoo yan. Right? Hindi siya peke, hindi siya replica. Totoong buto yan. Di ba normally makikita mo yan sa museum? Now, bakit siya nasa gitna ng opisina ng Google? Because it serves as a reminder to everybody that works in Google, right? That no matter how big and powerful you are today, if you do not evolve, if you do not adapt to the changing environment, right, you will perish the same as the dinosaur. So it serves as a reminder. Similarly, we also go to Facebook all the time, right? And we go to Facebook, this is their sign, this is dun sa main campus nila. I remember going first time to Facebook, and dati dalawa lang yung building nila. Ngayon 20 na. Sobrang dami. But this is the original one. Did you know that the Facebook office used to be the office of Sun Microsystems? Sun Microsystems was a Fortune 500 company, and I remember when I graduated from college, yung mga computer science na estudyante namin dati, na mga batchmates namin dati, nag-apply sa Sun Microsystems kasi okay magbayad, okay magtrabaho dito. Right? So bakit ngayon si Facebook nandun na sa opisina ni Sun Microsystems? Kasi wala na si Sun Microsystems. Now, if you look at what you will find behind the sign of Facebook, nandyan pa yung original na sign ni Sun Microsystems. Why? It serves as a reminder that no matter how big successful you are today, if you do not evolve, you will perish. Sabi nga natin, di ba, pivot or perish. Or maybe another way to think about it is, it's now time to adapt and overcome. Adapt to the changing world and overcome the new challenges and the new behaviors that our customers are experiencing. All right? So, adapt and overcome. Because remember, as the world evolves, we have to remember that there is always a new way of doing things. There will always be something better. Something better will always come up. And ang gusto natin mangyari, kayo mismo ay makadiskubre ng new way, or at the very least, kayo mismo ay gumagamit ng new way yourselves. Right? Because innovation has changed the way our customers behave. Right? Yung dating nakagawian, nagbabago. Because yung technology around us, the innovation around us is influencing the way we behave and we live our lives. In fact, because of this innovation, dati kapag magbebenta ka, parating may middleman. But now, because of technology, you can sell directly to your customers. That's why you have all of these e-commerce marketplaces and the like, because you can sell directly. Who would have thought that you as entrepreneurs, right, are no longer limited by your geographic location? In fact, I had students and mentees who, like you, very traditional, also used to sell in a very traditional manner. But because you can now directly exchange and sell to your customers, I had mentees who I've guided towards digital and are selling not just within their community, but are selling to other countries. Yung dati, 15,000, 20,000 a month lang ang benta. Ngayon, 150,000, 300,000, at lumalaki pa. Bakit? Kasi mas lumalawak na yung customer base. Right? Because they are now able to sell directly and access customers directly, unlike before. In addition to that, dahil mas nagiging pihikan na yung mga customers natin, you as entrepreneurs can now provide more customized products and services. All made possible because of the technology around us. Similar to this restaurant that if you see it now converted online, right, you can choose your own pizza, create your own, choose your own crust, your own sauce, toppings, and so on. Customers are now pihikan. And competition is higher because of the business's ability to come up with better products and customized experiences. Which is why you should be able to leverage, right, even all of these communication channels that is influencing the way customers make decisions. Why? Because as we know, as we mentioned, everything's digital. Everything is within grasp of our customers, right? That's why information and the consumption of information is important, and you should get your messages across in a better fashion, right? And by maximizing the power of what is at the palm of your hands or at your fingertips, you can create more awareness about your products digitally and therefore convert these into actual sales in a better, more effective manner, right? If you're using social media, right, YouTube and the like to show videos of your products, you can also use photos to make it more attractive, or blog like what we showed earlier, right? You can do blogging, microblogs, or just post things about your products just to create awareness. And I'll get into that in more detail later. Why? Because these are channels, right, that capture the attention of our customers, right? These are the channels and the experiences and the ways by which our customers now consume, right, the content that ultimately influence whether they will buy something or not. Remember, if we maximize all of these channels, sino ba nagpo-post? Sino ba yung naglalabas ng video? Di ba? Yung mga kaibigan din natin, mga kamag-anak natin, mga fellow customers who have experienced the actual product. I remember the story, right? When I was growing up, right, you would see your parents, right, trying to make a decision about kung may bibilin silang kunwari appliance. So anong gagawin nila? Di ba? Kakausapin nila yung kapatid nila, yung tiyan nila, kapitbahay nila, tatanong, oh, anong gamit mong brand? Kamusta naman yung produkto? Matibay ba? Okay ba? Energy efficient ba? Right? Before you actually make a purchase. Dati, kakato ka pa, tatawag ka pa. Right? Ngayon, you don't have to do that. Why? Because everything is now posted. All you have to do is search. In essence, when we make a purchasing decision, right, we discover and learn from our peers, correct? Before we purchase something, right, tinatanong muna natin, kaibigan ka mag-anak, inaalam natin, kamusta ba? Before we take the leap. And at the same time, because of the availability of these channels, we discover new things through this as well. Instead of going through the racks of the supermarket, which is sometimes kind of cluttered, you are now able to see, right? May bagong produktong ito. Si naalala ko, ginamit yan. Matanong nga siya kung kamusta yun. Right? So that is now how, right, how we are able to learn and discover about new things, new products and services. And that is also how you as entrepreneurs can get your businesses more recognition, your products more trials, your products and services to be experienced by more, to create more awareness. And once you create all of that awareness, you should be able to convert that into sales. Sabi nga sa Harvard, right, consumers trust their peers more than marketers, right? So bilang customer, mas makikinig tayo sa fellow customer, mas lalo na kapag kaibigan ka mag-anak yan. Importante katiwa-tiwala sa atin, right? And surveys have shown this. Like, take a look at this, right? This research was conducted way back 12 years ago, or 13 years ago, by research from Nielsen. But if you take a look at it, even more recent research, right, 2019, 2022, and so on, it's still the same. When before we make a purchase of a particular product, we trust our family and friends above all, right? Nag-extend na lang yan to other customers, which is why kayo, mamin kayo. Sino sa inyo ang bumibili sa mga e-commerce sites like Lazada, Shopee, or whatnot? Bago kayo bumili, anong ginagawa ninyo? Di ba? Tinitingnan nyo muna yung rating at saka yung mga comments before you make a purchase. Right? So it's logical. And it is really part of our behavior. Okay? So this is something important to take note. Especially ang hinahanap natin parati positive reviews because, right? Yes, tama. Word of mouth is very popular and very powerful, right? Because ganun tayo, that's how we function. But now, more than ever, digital marketing allows us to target our customers more specifically, right? More targeted. Dati, di ba, ang prime area para mag-market, billboard, newspaper, TV commercial. All good, all effective during those times, but quite expensive. Ang challenge doon, parang ang tawag doon shotgun approach or granada approach. Bahala na kung sinong matamaan sa customer natin. But now, because of technology, and by maximizing all of these new digital channels, you can actually maximize that further. Why? For example, I remember there was a time I was searching for a toaster, right? Kasi nasira na yung toaster ko eh. So, sinearch ko lang sa Google, toaster, kasi curious lang ako. Aba, ano nangyari? Pagtingin ko sa feed ko, puro toaster yung lumalabas. Right? So dati, if you look at it when advertising online initially was popular, suntok sa buwan pa rin, right? You just post there, tapos bahala na kung sino mag-click. Ngayon, when people search, right, or when your ad comes up, it means that the person who's seeing it was actually looking for a similar product. So very targeted. So yung ginagastos mo, 500, 1,000, very specific. Mataas na yung likelihood na bibili yung customer ninyo kasi naghahanap na siya ng ganung produkto. And at the same time, as I was sharing earlier, maximizing the digital space to market your products allows you to reach, right, more locations, more areas that you previously were not able to access. Sabi nga natin, gone are the days na yung community lang o yung barangay lang ang binibentahan mo. Dapat yung mindset ninyo ngayon is the world is your market. Right? The world is your market. Kahit saan, kahit US pa yan, Hong Kong, Singapore, dapat kahit saan bahagi ng mundo kaya nyo magbenta. Now, why is this all happening? Tingnan nyo na lang. Dito pa lang sa Pilipinas, remember, it's all about trust, convenience, and safety. Nasa dinami-dami ng Pilipino dito sa Pilipinas alone, not even global, right? There are more mobile phones than people. Pero ang importante na statistic dito, right, is ito. Ang median age ng Pilipino is around 26 years old. 98% literate or digital natives. Meaning, 26 years old yung makabagong customer ninyo. Nasanay at gamay na gamay ang paggamit ng digital sa pang-araw-araw na buhay nila. Similarly, because of the pandemic, right, e-commerce usage has also increased as we spend more time being online. All right? And now, more than ever, our phone, right, functions similar to our computers, our tablets, and our desktops. In fact, I bet you, sino sa inyo ang gumagamit ng cellphone para sa session ngayon? Right? Raise your hands. I bet you ang dami sa inyo. Right? Because this is where our eyes are pointed at. Right? This functions similar to all of the other gadgets dati 20 years ago na hindi natin magamit-gamit. Ngayon, nandyan na lahat. Everything all in one within the palm of our hands. So because of that, I challenge, right, and encourage all of you entrepreneurs to really leverage digital, right, and use that to attract more customers so that you can sell more. And the only way you're going to be able to do it is by following some simple steps. You want to be able to immerse yourself, which I believe you're doing because all of you would be using social media already. I'd like you to reflect on the best approaches, right? And then define what you can do, right? Using these channels and try them out. And after you try this out, you evaluate which works and which doesn't. Ganun lang po ang simple framework that you can leverage, right? So that you can maximize digital marketing for your business. Now, how can you, as a business, implement a digital marketing strategy? All right. Huwag po kayong mag-alala. If you need to take down notes, no worries. I'm happy to send a copy of these pointers to you, right? Just give us permission later on. But first is establish your goals. Why are you using digital marketing in the first place? Importante yan. Kasi yung iba bara-bara na hindi mo malaman kung bakit nila ginagawa ito. So you want to be smart. We want to come up with specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and timely goals. Right? What do you want to do? How will you know that you've reached it? Kaya mo bang mangyari talaga yan? Is it even realistic for you to achieve? Right? And when do you want to be able to accomplish it? Right? You have to be smart. So these are just some of the objectives that digital marketers normally use. Right? If you want, for example, to promote a page, ang objective is to create awareness. So therefore, ang metric niya or measurement niya is how many people clicked on your ad. If you want to be able to promote your app, for example, ang objective is to get more downloads. So ang measurement is number of downloads. Dapat yung objectives na sinet ninyo malinaw at kaya nyong i-measure. Right? So these are just some of the additional objectives that digital marketers normally use. It's normally, if you look at it, summarize all of this, at the end of the day, how do you create awareness about your business, about your product, para mag-translate o magresulta sa benta? Tandaan nyo, ang pagmamarket, whether digital or traditional, is all about what? Generating sales. Marketing creates awareness, right? Knowledge about your product so that alam ng mga customers that you exist and you can give value. When on the other side, right, you convert them into sales para bibili na talaga sila. Gawin yung kaakit-akit para kayo ay gustong tikman. But remember, in order to do this, you need to allocate a budget. Right? Hindi naman lahat yan libre. So kailangan mo mag-allocate ng budget. So kung nag-allocate ka ng 500 na budget, tandaan niyo, dapat may return. Magkano benta ang kapalit niyan? So yung 500 ko na pinuhunan ko para makilala ko, dapat magresulta sa, kunwari, 5,000 benta. Right? So may ROI ka. So ganun dapat ang mentality natin. Next step is to listen. You have to learn about your customer. Listen to them para alam ninyo kung paano kayo makiki-interact sa kanila. Anong mensahe ang bagay at angkop para sa kanila? Saan mo sila bebentahan? You have to listen to them. Right? Because why? You have options in terms of what channels to use. Right? Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Messenger, and so on. But which one will you use? You will choose based on who your customer is. Dapat alamin ninyo, saan ba mas madalas tumambay at kung saan nakarating nakatingin yung ating mga customers. At doon kayo magmamarket. Right? So I'll share this with you also. Ano ba yan? Ano ba yung behavior nila? Saan ba sila madalas? Nasa YouTube ba sila madalas? Madalas ba sila nasa Instagram? O parati sila nagti-TikTok? Right? Kung nasaan sila, doon kayo pupunta. Doon kayo maglalabas ng inyong mga marketing initiatives. So you want to be able to understand who your customers are so that you know where to go. This is very important. Alamin ninyo, sino ba talaga ang customer ninyo? Right? Oftentimes, it's suggested that you come up with a profile similar to branding, come up with a persona, so that it's easier for you to create stories later on. So that alam ninyo kung paano makapag-usap, makipag-communicate, right? Para sa ating mga customers. May question po tayo, may tool po ba na magagamit para mas lalong kilalanin ang target market natin? Alam mo, simple lang ang sagot dyan. Number one is, kausapin ninyo, sino yung bumibili sa inyo? Number one. The other way, na madali lang is, silipin ninyo yung kalaban ninyo. Tapos, try to understand their behavior. This is what big companies do. Like for example, Jollibee and McDonald's do this a lot. with each other. Magpapadala sila ng tao sa what do you call this? Sa branch, bibili ng kape, tapos yung taong yun, naglilista lang yan. Right? Naglilista lang yan. Ano yung mukha, ano yung suot ng customer, anong binili niya, magkano ginastos niya. Kasi with the power of observation, you can actually see, right, and profile the behavior of your customer. Pero ang pinakamahalaga is you talk to your customer. Hindi yung kamag-anak ka, yung totoong customer. Right? Then choose your channels wisely. Maraming channels yan. May advantage tayo because why? We have limited choices. Konti lang. Right? So you have Facebook, you have YouTube, you have Messenger, you have Instagram, you have LinkedIn, you have Twitter, and you even have TikTok and so on. But it goes back to my earlier question, right? Who is your customer and where are they? Right? Now, the last step is to actually engage. Bentahan ninyo, communicate with them, interact with them as much as you can. But how do you do it? I'll give you some tips. All right? I'll give you some tips. First is encourage your customers to talk about you. There is nothing better than getting user-generated content. Ano yung user-generated content? User-generated content is when your customer praises you. Yung sila mismo nagsabi na, wow, binili ko yung produktong ito. Right? Ang gumawa nito si Mang Carlo. Right? Sobrang sarap. Subukan ninyo. Libre yun. Right? Ano ibig sabihin nito? User-generated content po is when you let your customer speak for you. Sila mismo ang nagsasabi na sobrang sarap na, sobrang ganda ng produkto ninyo. At ano nangyayari doon? Di ba mas kakit, di ba yung sinabi natin? Di ba? Customers believe fellow customers, especially family and friends. I remember the story of my mentee, right? UV Care, right? Ganun din siya, word of mouth, right? Ano nangyayari sa kanya? They were selling these sanitation products, especially during COVID. Right? Hindi sila nag-traditional marketing. Lahat yan, user-generated content. Why? Kasi bigla may suot na ganito. Yung parang ionizer, tapos blue light, and so on. And the customer saying, wow, my place is so clean and so sanitary. Then hashtag tags and so on. Then people started buying more from them. Now, you will see the UV Care brand being sold in your department stores, and is actually a product being used in a lot of offices and public areas. Lahat yan nangyari dahil sa user-generated content. Right? Another thing is influencer marketing. Kung yung user-generated content libre, right? Influencer marketing naman is yung binabayaran. Right? Ito may bayad na. This is an investment. So basically, what you will look for are influencers, yung mga tao nakaka-influence sa ibang tao, na bumili ng produkto. So you want to look for people with large followings, right? Pero hindi ibig sabihin na marami silang followers, effective sellers sila. So may formula na normally sinusunod. So if you do get an influencer, parating yung tatanong, ano yung success rate mo? Ilang percentage, right, nung iyong followers ang totoong bumibili? Remember nung sinabi natin, di ba, may budget ka, kailangan yung budget na ito mag-convert into bigger sales for the company. Okay? Ang patok na patok sa panahon na ngayon, and it's not so expensive, is live streaming. Right? And if you look at it, a lot of the big brands, right, are doing live selling. Why? Because it's so effective right now. People want to be able to see, experience, and have fun while trying to make a decision before they actually make a purchase. In fact, you can use your Facebook, right, to do live selling, right, unboxing, and so that people can see how great your product is naturally, right? You can even use TikTok. Some people will use Kumu, and so on. And difference lang yan is that it's live, right? But when people do live selling or live sessions, they try to make it light and fun. But take note, wag niyong pipilitin. Dapat angkop pa rin sa brand ninyo, sa produkto ninyo yung ginagawa ninyo. All right. You want it to be consistent with all of your other campaigns. Also, it's important that you optimize your online presence. For some of you that can afford it, right? A website is always good to have. But para makatipid kayo, just make sure that you have a Facebook page, a LinkedIn page, right? At the very least, and maybe Instagram and TikTok, right? Like what I said, depende kung saan namamalagi yung inyong customers. Why? Because you want to be able to maximize that when they Google you at mag-search sila sa Google, kasama kayo dun sa mga unang lumilitaw sa listahan. Remember, as you're going along and what do you call this, creating communications for your customers, content is king, right? So we have some questions in the chat box. So user-generated content is the new word of mouth. Yeah, think of it as something similar, right? But it's essentially your customers talking about you positively so that other people will learn about you, right? Laging itanong ang success rate ng influencer. Yes, important pa po ba na may na data may important po ba na data may website? Dapat may website. It depends. But at the very least, remember, you have to have your Facebook page. Why? Because especially here in the Philippines, Facebook becomes your old yellow pages. Nalala niyo yung yellow pages? Right? Now, going back, remember, content is also king. Why? Because you want to remain interesting, right, for your customers para sila mismo sisilipin at silipin parate yung page nyo. Excited silang malaman kung ano yung ibabalita yung bago sa kanila. And there are so many things that you can talk about, right, that's related to your product. So these are just some of the normal or like what they call these things and topics that you can post and tips as well. But remember, it's all about going back and creating and developing your brand and communicating the benefits and the highlights of your products and services. It's not too expensive, right? In fact, a lot of this you can do yourselves. All right? Just things to note when you're creating content. You want to be clear, you want to focus it back on you. Try to tell a story. Be sure it's aligned with your brand. Dapat may call to action, and I'll explain that in a bit. Use the active voice para ganahan yung customer ninyo. And make sure to check your grammar and your spelling. Use hashtags and mentions. I'll explain that in a bit. And use emojis and specific fonts that's aligned with your brand. As I mentioned, happy to share these pointers with you. Eto, since we're all visual, di ba? As you're scrolling down, sometimes naman, you don't scroll down because may nabasa ka. You stop because why? May nakita kang kaakit-akit na picture, right? Kumbaga dati, I remember this famous fast food chain would use the term langhap, sarap, kasi sa amoy pa lang, gutom ka na. Ngayon, dapat makuha ka na sa tingin, right? Kasi hindi ka naman maaamoy kapag nakatingin ka sa screen, di ba? So dapat sa tingin parang, right, naengganyo na yung customer mong tumigil and to want to learn more. Sabi nga ng estudyante ko dati, dapat ma-love at first sight yung inyong customer pagkatingin pa lang dun sa inyong produkto. Alright? So when you have photos, just make sure that you use outstanding photos that you can do. Our phones can do a lot of great photos. It's just a matter of editing and using the proper lighting. All right? And ito, madalas nakakaligtaan ng mga nag-market online. Walang call to action. Ano yung call to action? Call to action is kung ano yung response na gusto mo sa customer ninyo. At the very least, ang gusto nyo sa kanilang tanungin is what? Shop now or buy now. Kailangan yun po ang makuha nila o gagawin nila when they see your ad. Bali wala yung picture ninyo, yung content ninyo kung walang call to action. You want to get them to at the very least contact you to ask for more information about the product. And as I discussed earlier, right? Look at your competitors, see what they're doing and try to learn from them. And once you learn from them, remember, do it better than them. In fact, Right? Ginagawa na nila yan sa inyo. It's called benchmarking. And it's okay. Remember, you're competing against each other, but you want to be level up against them. Right? Very common amongst brands. In fact, if you go to the US, right, doon diretsuhan sa mga commercials, naglalabanan yung brands mismo. Dito hindi ginagawa yun. Right? But you want to learn from them, or even matuto tayo doon sa mga favorite products natin. Diba? May mga ads and mga online campaigns sa mga favorite brands natin. Why don't we see if we can use that as well para ma-inspire din tayo? Alright? Use hashtags and mentions. Ano ibig sabihin yung hashtags at saka mentions? Yung hashtags yung parang number sign. Diba? Hashtag. Then you mention. Ano yung mention? When you mention, what do you call this, certain people, tama, hashtag relate. Right? Tingnan niyo itong example na ito. Recently, an online, ito libre an online publishing company, news company, wrote something about Startup Village. So anong ginawa niya? Gumawa siya ng article. Pero doon sa post niya, nakatag at saka naka-hashtag si Startup Village, tapos minention pa niya ako. Now, ano nangyayari when you use hashtag and mentions? It tags to the person, right, or the hashtag, right? So not only do you see in your own feed, in your post, but it is also shown in the feed of the person that is tagged. So ano ibig sabihin nun? Ang ibig sabihin nun, dumadami yung taong nakakita ng inyong pinost. So lumalawak, right? Yung scope ng inyong paglabas ng mensahe. Right? So don't forget, use hashtags and mentions. Very powerful yan in spreading the word. But what's important also, especially when you have chat functions in your pages, is be sure to respond. Because if you don't respond, not a turn off si customer. Remember, the better your response, the more frequent your response, the better engagement you create. And when you create engagement, you're actually building a pool, right? A pool of potential customers for the future. You're building a community, right? Because this community will eventually be converted into regular customers, and you build relationships that are valuable in the long term. And this is where you can use, right, these different channels like Viber, TikTok, Messenger to bring together your suki para tuloy-tuloy sila maging suki ng inyong negosyo. Then later on, measure, learn as you go along. Right? Now, so what are some examples? Right? Alam mo sabihin sa sir, baka mahal yan. Hindi. I'll quickly go through this because we're running out of time. An application of learning for a small business. Right? So this story is from a friend of mine, right? He went to Cagayan de Oro and went whitewater rafting. He fell in love with it and enjoyed it such that he wanted to get into the business of it. But as he was going along, he realized na may lisensya pa na kailangan para magtayo ng ganitong klaseng negosyo. Alright? Pero sa Cagayan de Oro, lahat ng lisensya na issue na sa 6 na kumpanya. Swerte na lang na isa dun sa mga kumpanyang ito, yung pinakakulelat. Right? Kasi nawala na ng gana yung may-ari, binibenta na. So binili nung kaibigan ko, pero syempre since napabayaan na yung negosyo, kailangan baguhin lahat. Binago niya yung branding, binago niya yung kulay, nagpatayo ng bagong opisina. Right? So kung punta kayo ng Cagayan de Oro, yung kulay blue na brand kanya yon. Okay? So nagsisimula siya ulit ng bago. Now, since kailangan bumili rin ng bagong gamit, right? Pinopromote nila yung negosyo very traditionally, pero they tried to maximize digital as well, and explain in a bit. So they bought new stuff, they bought life vest, pero mapapansin natin, ano yun, yung life vest, yung clip nasa gilid, yung mga strap nasa gilid. Dati kasi yung mga life vest nasa harapan eh. Bakit? Kasi sayang, advertising space yung nasa harapan. Right? So kitang-kita yung pangalan ng kumpanya at yung website. Tapos, yung mga bangka, yung mga raft, right? Nilagyan din nila ng brand nila. No, bakit mahalaga yan? Kasi, siyempre, kapag kayo ay nag-rafting, ang ginawa ng kumpanya, ito yung unang kumpanya na naglagay ng photographer, right? At key parts of the rapids para bago kayo dumaan, nandun na siya, may tagakuha ng picture. Kasi paano kakakuha ng picture? Nakasakay ka dun sa raft. Mahuhulog ka. Di ba? Tapos, this was also the first company that had a GoPro attached to the helmet para real life experience. Okay? Para, bago matapos, meron kang ganito. Ano mapapansin niyo sa litrato? Di ba? Matingkad yung kulay, kitang-kita na kulay blue. Makikita niyo yung pangalan. Right? Makikita ninyo yung website. Right? Para kapag makurang kayo ng picture, kitang-kita. Ngayon, ano mapapansin ninyo? Sino itong nasa picture na to? Di ba? Pansin ito, estudyante namin ito, si Miriam Kiambao. So my friend invited her to go rafting. Why? For free. Kasi maraming followers si Miriam. Right? Ang gusto natin mangyari is, after the trip, naku, Miriam post so that people can see how much fun she had rafting. Right? And then, yung kumpanyang ito, meron siyang resting area para yung mga tao ay makapagpa-picture kasama ng sign. Because everybody is so happy. Right? And habang naghihintay, may ganito, may ganyan, at may ganyan. Bakit? Kasi kailangan ng pang-profile pic. Right? And after that, you will now, because you're very happy and excited at gusto nyo yung pagmalaki, yung experience niyo, ipopost niyo. Di ba ang sabi ko kanina, this company used to be number 6, pinakakulelat. After 1 year, right? After 1 year, they were number 1. Why? Because people became more aware about the company, such that people who came from Manila and saw the posts of previous customers started inquiring and booking their trips, right? Or their rafting experience with this company. And they use the power of the customer, user-generated content, and regular postings, obviously, as I shared, nice photos and the like, to encourage more people to join, right? So, final words on digital marketing. Remember, it's all about embracing digital tools. It's around us, and you are using it today. So why be afraid, right? Tinker with it, play with it, look what fits you. Immerse yourself and learn as quickly as possible as you're going along the way. Click, engage, and convert. And tap into the energy that your customers, employees bring to the table. But it's important that you understand the way your customers work so that you can define and create better communications and content for them. Learn with technology the way people live with technology, and apply that to your respective businesses. So with that, maraming salamat po, right? And I hope that I was able to share with you this evening, right, some tips and tricks that would help elevate your respective businesses, right? And what they call this, make you more successful entrepreneurs for this new world and digital world that we live in. All right. So I hope everybody had a great time with me this afternoon. I sure did. And we have reached the end of our workshop. I hope you all enjoyed today as much as I did, and that you were able to make the most of the time we spent together. Alam ko medyo nabitin, but you can always do another one. Thank you to all our participants for your dedication, right, and participation in my session. And of course, we would like to express our appreciation and thanks to our sponsors who made this workshop possible. So yung Nakakalocal Eduserye KaTOOLong was brought to you by the Philippine Star in cooperation with Angkas, Ortigas Malls, RCBC, Discartec, Toyota, Robinsons Malls, SM Supermalls, Vista Mall, All Home, and Coffee Project, All Day Supermarket. Of course, with the support of GCash, PLDT, San Miguel Corporation, Shell, Trimotors Technology Corporation, BDO, Entrego, HP, Salutaire Incorporated, and SGV and Company. Also with our partner organizations, TTI Philippines, Go Negosyo, Ayala Enterprise Circle, Pili Ani PH, Rush, Yabang Pinoy, Vernew, Olern, Startup Village, and our media partners, GMA, ABS-CBN News, One News PH, and Page One Media. Again, thank you for joining our session for this evening. I am Carlo Calimon, and this has been Nakakalocal Eduserye KaTOOLong session with us this afternoon. Maraming salamat po, right? And hope to see you in the next session.
In the Philippines, SMEs are no small matter. With the challenges of the recent years, we want to help SMEs bounce back, grow, and succeed. The Philippine Star, together with its partners, gives you Nakakalocal. Love local, grow global. Nakakalocal is an advocacy program that will shine the spotlight on SMEs. By showcasing their products, we will encourage more Filipinos to buy local. By featuring our artisans' craftsmanship, we will spread the word on Pinoy skill and creativity. By mounting specialized events, we will empower and motivate entrepreneurs with the right tools and insights to make their business grow.
Nakakalocal is the latest initiative by the Philippine Star with the purpose of contributing to nation building. We believe SMEs are vital drivers of economic growth in the Philippines, and so we plan to support them by offering ourselves as a platform for their creative products and their inspiring stories. We are excited to promote SMEs that are developing products and services that can stand the test of time. We want to connect with businesses eager to put the Philippines on the global map with their own creativity. We want to work with companies who can best represent our culture, history, or identity in what they make and promote. More importantly, they have to be ethical and socially responsible entrepreneurs who support sustainable practices in their operations. Nakakalocal is for every SME that wants a door of possibilities open for their growth and expansion. May Nakakalocal be the first of many future endeavors that inspire more Filipinos to support local brands and for the Philippine Star to showcase the ingenuity of our nation's world-class talent.
Our goals are simple. Get more Filipinos to buy local and get more SMEs to go global. Nakakalocal can be the partner you need to grow your SME. Know more about us. In the Philippines, SMEs are no small matter. With the challenges of the recent years, we want to help SMEs bounce back, grow, and succeed. The Philippine Star, together with its partners, gives you Nakakalocal. Love local, grow global. Nakakalocal is an advocacy program that will shine the spotlight on SMEs. By showcasing their products, we will encourage more Filipinos to buy local. By featuring our artisans' craftsmanship, we will spread the word on Pinoy skill and creativity. By mounting specialized events, we will empower and motivate entrepreneurs with the right tools and insights to make their business grow.
Nakakalocal is the latest initiative by the Philippine Star with the purpose of contributing to nation building. We believe SMEs are vital drivers of economic growth in the Philippines, and so we plan to support them by offering ourselves as a platform for their creative products and their inspiring stories. We are excited to promote SMEs that are developing products and services that can stand the test of time. We want to connect with businesses eager to put the Philippines on the global map with their own creativity. We want to work with companies who can best represent our culture, history, or identity in what they make and promote. More importantly, they have to be ethical and socially responsible entrepreneurs who support sustainable practices in their operations. Nakakalocal is for every SME that wants a door of possibilities open for their growth and expansion. May Nakakalocal be the first of many future endeavors that inspire more Filipinos to support local brands and for the Philippine Star to showcase the ingenuity of our nation's world-class talent.
Our goals are simple. Get more Filipinos to buy local and get more SMEs to go global. Nakakalocal can be the partner you need to grow your SME. Know more about us.
We are Entrego. We bring your product from you to there, whenever and wherever. With business and e-commerce growing fast, we at Entrego promise to bridge the digital divide. We always deliver. We are committed to provide fast, on-time, safe, and reliable logistics services for our customers. We never stop. We are enabled by the latest technology that provides full operational visibility. Our fleet is equipped with GPS mobile devices. We move forward. We are everywhere. We are committed to expanding our network through widespread distribution centers across the Philippines. We promise to take your products from you to there, wherever there is. We are ready to deliver.
Sa panahon ng pagbabago at teknolohiya, maraming oportunidad ang nagbubukas para sa isang kumpanya, maliit man o malaki ito. Kaagapay mo ang Entrego sa pagtulay ng iyong mamimili tungo sa iyong negosyo. Layunin ng Entrego masolusyonan ang bawat suliranin sa fulfillment at logistics sa paraang tama at akma sa iyong pangangailangan. Gamit ng mga makabagong teknolohiya tulad ng auto-sorting machine na kayang magproseso ng higit 10,000 packages kada oras at ang kakayahang serbisyohan ang higit 32,000 barangays sa Pilipinas. Sinisigurado naming bawat lakbay ng padala nyo ay nasa tamang kamay. Bawat sandali, ang padala nyo ang aming prioridad. Saan man sa Pilipinas, lungsod man o probinsya, kami ay matapang na tumataya, mahatid lamang ang inyong padala. Sinisigurado din namin na ligtas ang komunidad sa pagbibigay ng mga solusyon katulad ng contactless payment, katuwang ang GCash at ang Transacto. Hatid namin sa Entrego ang pag-unlad mo. Entrego, from you to there.
Hi, I'm home.
Hey, Daddy, I drew this for you.
Aw, thank you, sweetie.
When you know what's important,
Sure thing.
you give
I'll get
your
on it
most
right away.
valuable resource, your time. For most, it's family.
The package for Dad's on the way. So let's decorate the house before he sees.
Okay.
For Entrego, it's you. Entrego's tailored logistics fulfillment solutions drive efficiencies in your operations through extensive parcel management, freight forwarding, contract logistics, and warehousing. We know that your success is ours too. Our technology-driven end-to-end logistics solutions help you focus on growing your business without the hassle. Our network of distribution centers across the Philippines guarantees efficiency and security, so you can reach your partners wherever they may be.
It's here.
With Entrego as your partner, success becomes effortless.
Surprise!
You will see dedication and compassion delivered to your doorstep every day. And that's fulfillment. This is our movement. This is our value. We are Entrego.